and hang out with us at our very first little road pop-up in the desert, so thank you. And I just wanted to say, have an amazing time today. Enjoy yourselves, stay hydrated, have the most fun, and I'll see you tonight. Thank you.
In their living room, in their bedroom. What's going on, guys? How you guys doing at home?
It always begins with a moment that feels too small to matter, until it suddenly matters more than anything else. A flicker on a screen, a half-second glance, a shift in someone's posture that shouldn't mean much, but somehow does. And at Coachella, where every second is documented and dissected, one of those moments didn't just pass by, it detonated. What should have been just another chaotic, glitter-drenched festival clip turned into something else entirely. A digital wildfire. And at the center of it all, Hailey Bieber, caught in a moment the internet swore meant more than it showed, and Justin Bieber, whose reaction only fueled a frenzy further. The clip itself was deceptively simple, shot from a slightly obstructed angle, with bodies moving in and out of frame. It showed Hailey in the crowd, nothing unusual for Coachella. But then came the shift. Her expression appeared to tighten. Her body turned slightly away, and the people around her reacted in a way that felt off. Not dramatic enough to be obvious, but just ambiguous enough to invite interpretation. That's all it took. Within minutes, the word caught began attaching itself to the clip like glue. And once that word enters a conversation, the rules change. Caught doesn't ask questions, it implies answers. It tells viewers that something happened, that there's a hidden truth waiting to be uncovered, that what you're seeing is just the tip of something deeper. Whether or not that's true becomes almost irrelevant, because now the audience isn't watching anymore, they're investigating. The reactions in the background became Exhibit A, a woman turning her head quickly, someone raising their phone, then lowering it, a subtle shift in energy that, in real life, could mean anything or nothing at all. But online, those micro-reactions transformed into evidence. Viewers began slowing the footage down, zooming in, replaying it frame by frame, as if the truth might reveal itself under enough scrutiny. And as always, the comment section didn't hesitate to step in and complete the story. Some claimed Hailey had been confronted. Others insisted it was a misunderstanding blown out of proportion. A few went further, suggesting something more calculated, something intentional. None of these interpretations came with proof, but they didn't need it. Confidence became currency. The more certain someone sounded, the more believable their version became. That's when Justin entered the narrative, not just physically, but symbolically. In several reposted versions of the clip, Justin Bieber appears shortly after the moment in question. His demeanor? Calm, controlled, focused. He doesn't look panicked or confused. If anything, he looks like someone stepping into a situation he already understands. And that's where the story took its sharpest turn. Because suddenly, it wasn't just about Hailey being caught. It was about Justin shutting it down. That phrase spread almost as quickly as the clip itself. He shut it down. He handled it. He knew exactly what was happening. These interpretations added a layer of narrative that the original footage didn't provide. Resolution, authority, closure. It turned a confusing moment into a storyline with structure. And people love structure. The idea that Justin stepped in and immediately diffused whatever was happening gave the clip a beginning, middle, and end. It suggested that there was something worth controlling, something worth managing. Whether that was actually the case didn't matter nearly as much as how it felt to viewers watching from their screens. Because in the absence of clear context, people don't settle for uncertainty. They replace it. But here's where things get complicated. Coachella, by its very nature, is a perfect breeding ground for misinterpretation. It's loud, crowded, overstimulating. People are constantly reacting to music, to heat, to crowds, to cameras. A single moment of discomfort or distraction can look like something much bigger when it's isolated from everything around it. Someone turning away could be avoiding a camera, not a confrontation. A tense expression could be the result of exhaustion, not drama. A group reaction could be triggered by something completely unrelated just outside the frame. Yet when that moment is clip-cropped and captioned with intent, it transforms. The camera angle plays its part too. The slightly obstructed view makes it feel like the person filming wasn't supposed to capture what they did. That alone creates a sense of secrecy. Add in shaky movement and imperfect timing, and suddenly the clip feels less like documentation and more like discovery. And discovery invites speculation. The truth is, there's no confirmed timeline, no full sequence of events, no clear before or after that explains what actually happened. Everything the internet built around this moment came from fragments, visual hints, emotional assumptions, and narrative instincts, which is exactly why no one could agree. Some viewers remain convinced that the moment revealed something significant, something deliberately concealed. Others argue just as strongly that it was nothing more than a misread situation, inflated by the mechanics of virality. Both sides feel certain, and both are working from the same incomplete puzzle. That's the paradox of viral culture. The less we know, the more we believe. And then there's a lingering question that keeps the story alive. What really happened? It's a question that doesn't need an answer to keep circulating. In fact, its lack of resolution is what gives it staying power. Because as long as the moment remains unclear, it remains open. Open to reinterpretation, to new angles, to fresh speculation. Another clip could surface tomorrow, showing a different perspective. It could clarify everything or complicate it further. But even if it does, there's no guarantee it will change minds. By then, many people will have already settled into their chosen version of the story. Because once a narrative feels right, it becomes hard to let go of. In the end, the caught at Coachella moment says less about Hailey or Justin than it does about how we process what we see. A single clip, stripped of context and loaded with implication, became a full-blown cultural moment. Not because of what it proved, but because of what it suggested. And maybe that's the real story. Not what happened in that brief, flickering second, but how quickly the world decided what it must have meant.